I had one of the greatest foods I've ever had recently. And I don't know if I talked about this, but I had one of the greatest foods I've ever experienced, and it was a very recent development. I've had ramen before. I've had kimchi ramen. I've had kimchi before. I had kimchi ramen recently at one of my favorite ramen places nearby. It was so delicious, my brain didn't even know how to process how good it tasted. Right away when I was eating it, I was like, it's overloading me and opening up my palate to new experiences that I've never had before. Even though I've had those flavors before, but it was just like really good tonkotsu ramen with like extremely like long duration cooking pork broth, and then there was like this kimchi that they had braised beforehand and then put into the ramen.
Oh, interesting.
It was such a flavor combination, and it had like melded together. But I think I wouldn't have appreciated it as much if I hadn't known kimchi was good and liked kimchi and known the ramen was good. And then it was like a ratatouille moment where it was like when it blended in my mouth, all of a sudden the new combinations were just like sparking off in ways. But I don't think I would have appreciated it without like the prior knowledge of kimchi and ramen in general, and having a wide varieties of ramen and having a wide variety of kimchi, and then seeing these. It was amazing. I don't think you guys would have liked it as much as I had anyway. I think it is like a fantastic meal.
I think I would have liked it. The like pickly souriness of kimchi, especially braised, I could see exactly how that would go really good with some tonkatsu.
It was incredible. Like, Wade, I don't think this would have been up your alley. Not for like...
I'm not a pickly person, so brought out the pickly part of it, but...
Yeah, I think it's a lot of different foods, but it was so good. Next time you're in LA, I'll bring you out to this place. It was really good.
Ratatouille, I'm so glad you mentioned the Ratatouille moment. That's like how I judge everything I eat in my life.
I've never seen Ratatouille.
Oh, great movie. Probably my favorite movie.
Like when I just like eat Wendy's or something, it's like that movie lives in my head rent free all day, every day, and I love it.
I'll have to watch it. I've heard good things. I always got compared to the main character.
You've actually not seen it at all?
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You'll love it.
You're not unlike Linguini. I'm curious to see what you think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to give it a shot. To answer the question for me, the smell of broccoli. I like eating broccoli, but whenever you make broccoli and the way the kitchen smells afterward, like
yeah, I get you.
Broccoli after it's cooked and you just smell it around is not a flavor that makes me want to eat. It smells like garbage to me. It makes me think of like the trash that needed to go out a while ago. Like I'll come into the kitchen after like we've had broccoli and it's like, ugh, what happened? What went wrong? Ugh, we need to clean this up.
I kind of get that. I love broccoli, but I kind of get that.
I love eating broccoli too. I do like, it's like one of the vegetables I really do like eating like all the time. On the flip side, I don't know this Ratatouille moment, but I will say at Melting Pot, the shrimp cooked in coq au vin and then dipped into like their yellow curry like yogurt sauce, that combination, every time I eat it, is like a eureka in my mind. It's always the last bite. And then like after you eat the main course, if you do the 4-course thing, they bring out like the chocolate and stuff. Nothing in the dessert feels like it's worth being my last bite compared to the shrimp and curry. Like I want that to be something I can eat so much more readily available. I don't know how they make that curry sauce exactly.
It's not that hard. You could do it.
But that shrimp and curry, every time I eat it, it's like the first time I tasted it. Some foods you eat, it's like the first time you eat it, it's like, oh my God, this is so good. The shrimp and curry, I always know how good it is. And every time I taste it, I'm never disappointed or like, it's like the second best time I've had it. It's like the first time every time. It's so good.
Not to be with this ramen. It is just like, I've only had it 3 times and it is like already replacing chicken dumplings as my favorite meal.
What?
Yeah, it is that good.
Well, are you gonna learn how to make it?
No, I don't think I could because I don't have the patience to like cook this broth, because it's like a 24-hour broth of just like you take pork of who knows what parts of the pig and just like
just all the parts,
boil it for 24 hours and then you got good ramen noodles. How do you even make that?
You know what though? I bet, Mark, you should look into pork demi-glace. I learned recently what demi-glace is. Mm-hmm. I bet if you use demi-glace as a starting point for a tonkatsu broth, you would have something. And braising kimchi is super easy.
Oh, absolutely. That I could do definitely. Just like, but it's like, what kimchi are they using? From who? It really depends on the brand you're getting of kimchi if you're getting the right kimchi.
That's true. And you can make your own kimchi that's actually pretty bomb. It's not too difficult.
No, it just takes some prep, but most of it's the fermentation process itself.
But when you get to like pick exactly what's in it, and there's certain veggies that are kind of like super super good additions to, like daikon, dude. Kimchi like fermented daikon is so good.
And that's what's such a tragedy is like, I worry about this place going out of business now because I'm like, if it goes out of business, because it's not a chain, it's just one place.
It's gone forever.
It's gone. And I'm like, they charge really affordable prices for this food. And I'm like, ramen can vary from places, but if you would think like a ramen that I'm saying like is my greatest ramen ever, it's $17 for this ramen. And I'm like, how the fuck?
That's pretty good for a spot in like the LA area. Like, yeah.
I'm just like, how are you selling this for 17? I would pay $80 for this. It is that good. I don't want them to, but I'm like, don't go out of business. I don't want to have to try to make this myself. I don't want to have to hunt down the owner and be like, you're not my personal chef now. And you make this every day.
You make this for me.
You make this for me and maybe Amy and maybe my friends when they come over. About me.